Lots of people hanging on my every word, blogging, posting. Diane, Santa Barbara, California, the great KVTA. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Hey, it's been a few months. Hope all's well.
Very well, thank you.
Good. Hey, I was wondering if you want to talk me from the ledge of leaving the Republican Party. I've been a Republican for 15 years, and before that, Democrat, and I'm trying to figure out if I need to do that because I'm pretty frustrated at this point.
So you started out as a Democrat, you're a Republican, and you're tired of the Republicans. What first attracted you to the Republican Party?
I just was starting to think, God, this Democrat Party is kind of liberal. It's just not about, the working man anymore. It's about, this whole, the abortion. So, as a Christian, it definitely didn't fit into my ideology for sure.
Isn't it interesting how the establishment Republicans, part of the ruling class, it is they who are making the Republican Party smaller and smaller and smaller by excluding people? Isn't it interesting that they're the ones doing that?
Yes, and I wish that we had conservative like Sean Hannity has here in New York, but we don't have that in California. So I've narrowed it down to either independent or libertarian or just hold out. I don't know. What shall I do? What shall I do?
Well, I think it's important for me that I remain in the Republican Party, at least for now, to try and influence it. I don't like surrendering. I don't like abandonment. Why should we turn this stuff over to Karl Rove and the establishment, the hangers-on from prior administrations? Why should we do that?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we fight? Why shouldn't we fight to take this apparatus back? They took it from us. Let's take it back.
Well, I just feel like people like Boehner, he's just like so awful. And, he's just part of the whole globalist movement. And I don't know. I'm really frustrated with everybody there. And they're little by little, going along with the liberal policies and stuff. So I don't know. It's really hard. I'm a total political nerd, and it's just hard to even talk about what the Republicans are doing anymore.
And it's even worse now that they are almost in unison as a chorus, denouncing conservatives while pretending to embrace conservatism.
Yeah, I know. It's just, you even read Boehner's tweets, and they're completely different than what he's actually doing. It's just like a big joke to him, I think. I don't know. So.
All right. All right, Diane. God bless you, my friend. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Let us go to Nettie, Anchorage, Alaska, the great KBYR. Go.
Good afternoon, Mark. I just thought it was very presumptive of the RINO person on the 5. I've been disappointed by that RINO before.
Hold on now. Were you watching the 5?
No, I just heard. No, I've been disappointed before when I've heard different views from that RINO before on other segments of the 5. I didn't see it today. I just heard what you said, and I thought it was rather presumptive of that RINO to. Dr. Carson is a brain surgeon. I think Dr. Carson knows what's best for him to do. And also, what the RINO doesn't realize is that Dr. Carson does not want to make a name for himself. He is trying to save our country, just like he would save a dying
Exactly.
patient.
Nettie, he is driven by the opposite inclinations, the opposite motivations of the RINOs. In other words, he's not positioning himself. He's not trying to create an impression. He's trying to participate in what he believes is saving the nation. And so it's really pretty outrageous that, as you're pointing out, that somebody would suggest that he doesn't know where to appear, that he's kind of naive, that he doesn't know what to say. But, of course, she does.
Yeah, it's really so disheartening. I identify with the other caller from California. You know, I appreciate. I don't want to give up either. I'm 72, and here in Alaska we don't give up easy. But boy, it's mighty hard to keep a stiff upper lip when we have rhinos that are doing this stuff.
All right, my friend, you take care. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sherry, Dallas, Texas, the great WBAP. Go.
Hey, Mark Levin. I'm an avid follower of you for many years, and I've bought all your books, and you've been kind enough to send me 2 autographed copies of books that you've published, and I'm so grateful to you for all the things you do. But I wanted to comment on the 5. I was watching the show today, and I used to make it a priority to watch that show, but I've gotten disheartened over the last few months by some of the comments, like the person who suggested that Dr. Carson was not astute enough to know where he needs to appear and the things he does, and I was so offended by that. But I wanted to thank you so much for having him on your show last night. I listened, and I wanted to tell you also that I sent a letter to the chairman of the Republican National Committee just last week when they were soliciting us again for our membership fee, and I laid out so many of the things that you've stated that I feel from my heart, and I called out the establishment and several issues I pointed out directly that we've been so dissatisfied with. So I wanted to thank you again for all the things you do, and just want you to know that we're out here. I'm in Texas, and you know we are we're very conservative here, and we hope that we can keep our state in the conservative
me too.
ranking.
All right, my friend. Thank you for your call.